Hello everyone, this is Madam Biday. Today we're gonna do some drawing 101, they call it. Okay, so I'm going to explain how I created this flower. Okay, so basically I bought a coloring book for adults. When I saw it was like a really nice book, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to color this. I'm going to use it as my reference so I could learn how to draw the flowers. So always start with the box. Okay, I always teach this with my students. Always start with the box. So for example, okay, I'm going to draw the bird. So I'm gonna see the geometry of the bird first. Okay, so I'm going to create a box. Is it a square? Is it a rectangle? Cut it into two. Okay, two parts, more parts if it needs more parts. Okay, then go. The head is of course a bit circular. Okay, so figure out where you should put that on the grid. Okay, the body. Okay, you have to draw the body. And then from there, okay, so that's the geometry that you need to start with. Well, so always start with the box. Then after a box, you're going to put a little bit more details. Okay, so the very basic details. You can actually draw anything. Like this, if you can see, there's so many details, but before you get into the details, you have to start with this basic geometry. Okay, now this one, I'm going to draw a flower. Okay, this is gonna be a bit easy to start with. Again, this is a square. Okay, again I start with a box. Okay, you're going to use a very light pencil, HB. Okay, your grid or what we call guideline should be really thin. Okay, so I'm gonna figure out where the center is. I'm going to mark the center. In this regard, this is kind of a bit easy. Okay, all right, then draw the basic geometry. Yep, even if you're creating a circle, I don't draw a circle at once. I create a box and draw a circle in it. Of course, this is just my strategy, but I think if you don't know how to start or where to start, it's a good start to start with the box. Okay, so these are the basic parts now. Just doing some outlines. Okay, very thin. When you are like kind of copying a flower like that, you don't need to like worry too much. Okay, you are not exactly getting all the details. I mean, like, this is just your reference, so don't worry if you're not, it's not like looking exactly like your reference. Okay, and then put more details. You could actually go straight to your fine liners if you are a bit, confident, but of course you want to see your guidelines first before you use the fine liners. Okay, so I'm gonna start doing my outline using a 0.3 fine liner. Okay, so just getting the outlines first. Point 3. Okay, any fine liner will do so long you have two kinds, one thicker and one thinner. Thicker for the outline for sure, and thinner for the for the texture. I haven't drawn for a long time actually, but I mean I know how to copy, you know, because I can do a box first. So this is just my strategy. I don't think there's harm in copying, okay, so long it's for educational purposes, you know. Okay, so after I do my fine liner, my outline, I did some watercoloring. Okay, putting some darker colors to create depth. Okay, and this one I put too much. Okay, don't worry, you can actually remove some colors using a tissue paper. Okay, it's important that you create that depth. So this is just like a dabbing technique. Okay, so this is just putting more details, putting more depth. Okay, this is now what we call the rendering techniques. There's so many things you could learn in YouTube, really. So I don't see why we cannot learn something new. I just learned this, you know, like doing a drawing from a box. It's kind of more like my common sense, you know, like if I draw something, anything I draw, for example, like trees, anything I draw, I always start with the box. Maybe because I actually like teach tech drawing, and most of the things we draw are like blocks, so I think that's kind of more like my training. So this is what I really enjoy, putting the texture. You could actually do it fast. You have to practice. The secret is just use very thin lines. So this one I'm using 0.3. There's as thin as 0.01. Then after that, just create more depth by making your outlines thicker. So you have to be patient. This requires a lot of patience, but you know, I actually do it a bit fast. So usually I go back the next day and I was like, okay, this needs something more.